Welcome, and thank you so much for having me here with you all tonight. It really is such a unique time that we get to spend together, and I think we've all valued this one-on-one connection more than ever. As Simon introduced me, thank you so much. I'm Tarryn, and I'm from Maine, and I'm a happiness and prosperity coach, along with being a Diamond Plus Invisalign provider. I'm also the host of the Business of Happiness podcast. Thank you. You'll have to check me out. My story starts 18 years ago when, as a solo practitioner, orthodontist in Massachusetts at the time, I saw the innovation and the opportunity in Invisalign and how Invisalign could help me and my practice. That was my focus at the time. And in 2008, when the stock market crashed, Invisalign saved my butt because it set me apart from everyone else at the time in my community. And I was so grateful because Invisalign was what helped me grow my practice. Invisalign transformed my practice, transformed my life. It was also the tool that I used to start a new practice in Maine, and from scratch start to 3 years later being able to be an Invisalign Diamond Plus provider solely because I was using the incredible opportunity that the Align platform offered and the support of my territory rep. Really, I owe that incredible man, Jamie Giordone, so much because he helped me grow my practice and realize my dreams. But this story actually begins in 2016. In 2016, my younger brother, took his life. And I tell you this story because the year that followed Douglas's death was a year of introspection for me that made me question everything. I couldn't see how moving teeth was impacting people in a bigger way. Here I was seeing young men and women who were devastated by loss, devastated by anxiety, devastated by social anxiety and crippling events in their families. I couldn't see how I was making a change in this world. It didn't make sense to me. And then walked into my office one day a young man named Aiden. And Aiden, you all know, 14-year-old boy, greasy hair, pimples, wouldn't look anyone in the eye, didn't speak up in class, sat in the back, avoided smiling because he was embarrassed because of his smile. And over the course of his treatment with Invisalign, we saw transformation. You all know this story. You all have an Aiden in your office that over the course of his Invisalign treatment transformed in front of your eyes. We literally saw his acne clear up because he started washing his face. We saw him start putting gel in his hair. He started saying hello to the front desk staff, looking them in the eye. And at the end of his treatment, his mom came up to me and said, "Tarryn, I can't believe it. He's trying out for the jazz band. I can't believe he has the confidence to do this." I said, "I know, I'm so proud of him. He really has matured over the course of his treatment." She said, "No, it's because of his smile." I said, "I know. He's really become much more confident because of his smile." She said, "No, it's more than that." What we were doing is, on a daily basis, giving Aiden the tools to face adversity. Every day when he was changing or wearing his aligners and then changing them on a weekly basis, he felt in control of the transformation that was happening in front of his eyes. He felt empowered in his life to make change. And Aiden taught me that that is something we were doing and impacting for him. See, because that incredible innovation that I recognized 18 years ago meant nothing until I took action on it. Those incredible Invisalign aligners sitting on the shelf are not changing lives. You are changing lives, every single one of you, every single day for 25 years. Simon Sinek famously says, "Genius is in the idea, Impact, however, comes from action. You know, I knew this to be true when Luca walked in the door. I saw Aiden all over again. Luca smiled a little bit more, but the interesting thing about Luca is an identical twin. He and his identical brother didn't have the identical smiles, though. And so Luca became more and more introverted as they went into their middle school experience. Luca relied on his brother for the social skills, and Luca, who was the tech geek, sat in the back of the classroom and didn't speak, just like Aiden. And when he came into my office, I knew that we were going to make a transformation. Here was an eager young man who was just very embarrassed because of his smile and left the smiling to his brother. Now, what I didn't tell you yet is in that year after my brother's passing, I was on a crusade to discover happiness. It's when I started planning out the Business of Happiness podcast, and I started interviewing successful people who were also happy, trying to understand, what is happiness? How do we grab happiness? How do we find empowerment? How do I support my patients? How do I support myself in feeling empowered, finding self-confidence and purpose in my life? And so I went for a deep dive into neurolinguistic programming, got certified in cognitive behavioral therapy. I went mind magic, I tried everything. And what I learned is that the secret of the mind is the mind speaks in images and thoughts. If you can change the images in your mind, and you can change and choose the thoughts you're thinking, you can literally change your life. What Luca taught me on the first day when I was delivering his aligners, and I sat him down, as with all my patients, I showed them that really cool video, ClinCheck, of the transformation of his smile. I saw a moment in his eyes I will never forget. What I saw in that instant was an image that I was giving him in his mind in a language that Luca spoke. See, because Luca speaks digital. What I had been trying to do for years with my clients, trying to teach them how to harness the power of their mind to create new imagery of something that doesn't yet exist, I did in seconds with Luca. And not only could he imagine the transformation of his smile, but he believed it. He believed in it so deeply that it was easy. I had him on the first day of his aligners. Now, Luca's smile is not anything crazy. This smile is something you see every single day. This occlusion is a no-brainer for us. Every day we're doing these things, but do you take a moment to recognize the impact you are having on these young children's lives? We are taking them from this very critical age when they are creating a sense of self-identity. This is the age when they are affecting their self-confidence, their self-belief. And when he looked at his smile, when he was younger, he couldn't see what he could possibly be. But when we showed it to him on the ClinCheck, the digital language spoke to him. And of course, we all look at this and we recognize, we can tell you exactly what needs to happen. We know it's going to be beautiful once we hand it over to the prosthodontist and he helps us with that Bolton discrepancy. But what came after, a couple months ago, Luca's mom called me and said, "Tarryn, is it okay if Luca comes into your office and shadows you every now and then?" I said, "Of course, we'd love to have him. He's really been so great to have in the office. He's starting to chat with the other kids. He's showing them how to upload the app on their phone so they can track their Invisalign." And she said, "Oh, but do you realize Luca wants to transform people's lives with technology the way you do?" That's what he took away from it. See, we don't realize this, and I wish for you tonight to recognize it for yourselves. Bring to mind, bring to your mind right now the Aiden or the Luca in your office. We have them. You know exactly who I'm talking about. Right now, you're bringing up an image of a patient whose life you changed. Doesn't matter who you are. If you were the assistant who's teaching them how to wear these aligners, if you're the treatment coordinator who's impacting their lives by introducing them to this opportunity to give them the tools that they need to transform their smiles, or if you were the innovative leader of your office who recognized the impact you could have on your patients using this incredible innovation. Doesn't matter who you are, every day you are transforming smiles, but you are transforming lives. And maybe right now you're thinking of that 43-year-old mom who never invested in herself and never smiled in her family photos, and now because of her Invisalign treatment with you in your office, she is finally smiling in her family photos that will live on in perpetuity on her cell phone. Every day, we are changing lives, and I honor you for being that. I honor you for taking action. Because just like Simon Sinek said, none of the impact would happen without your action. In a moment, I'm going to ask you to join me in applause. And when I do so, I want you to recognize that this applause is for you. For you going every single day and making this incredible impact on the world, on your community. Because your ripple effects have ripple effects. Because Luca is going to go out now and change lives, now that he has found the confidence that he needs. Thank you for 25 years of not just transforming smiles, but of transforming lives. I honor you. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the summit. I hope that every moment that you experience this weekend, you take a moment to just reflect on the impact that you're having, that you're making, and recognize the value that you're contributing on a daily basis. Thank you very much.